Part 5. What exonerates and absolves the demonized? How dangerous is demonization? Let us go into how dangerous demonization can be and how it destroys the confidence of women in the demonized man. This is very important. This time, though, you don't drop your prejudices and biases, but let them bloom and watch every movement of the prejudice and bias and go wherever the prejudices and biases take you, even if they carry you into their darkest alleys and the worst hellholes, because that is what meditation is all about, not just stupefying, illusory, or delusory focus, bring to a point, control, suppress, sublimate, dilute, diminish, and make vanish. Please watch the tremendous momentum and gushing volume of prejudice and bias in action as a reaction that wreaks tremendous havoc. Watch, just watch, because there is nothing you can do about it. And to see that there is nothing you can do about it, but be choicelessly aware, or choiceless awareness is meditation. You watch every movement of the meditator, whether it be subtle, cryptic, or gross, and covert or overt, open, hidden, or surreptitious, every movement of the meditator, because meditation is about the meditator, says Jiddu Krishnamurti. The other is not experiential, because the other is when the experiencer or the observer is not. That is why meditation is about the meditator. Take a look at how Jiddu Krishnamurti abolishes the higher self, super self, higher consciousness, super consciousness, or supra consciousness in a single stroke. Is truth experiential? Then what are you after? What do you hanker after? All in the name of meditation. What meaning has the circus of the guru and all the mental gymnastics he puts you through, tying up your mind in knots, all in the name of meditation? Let's begin. The test starts now. I saw an extraordinarily beautiful lady model dressed up in police uniform to the hilt in YouTube. Poetry was inevitable. Emma Maloney was only a flash in the pan, but the lady model was the blazing sun, inexhaustible, unextinguishable. Kareena Kapoor and Aishwarya Bachchan were galaxies, but the lady model was the universe. The universe is so full, the galaxies are incomplete. She was such an superordinary body of water that the Ganges was only a dwindle. Yet, yet she was the fountain source whence burst forth the rivers of the world, the Nile, the Ganges, the Brahmaputra. She slaughtered with her lavish, ravishing beauty. Manslaughter. हसीना थी असली कातिल हसीना थी asli katil, plunderer. She plundered and slaughtered. She plundered the heart and slaughtered the mind. She was both mind-blowing and mind-boggling. She was hot yet cool, an enigma, a paradox that paralyzes the mind and perplexes the senses and renders the mind speechless. It is she who plundered the heart, but it is the heart that is arrested. It is she who plundered the heart, but it is the heart that is arrested. An enigma, a paradox that paralyzes the mind, perplexes the senses, and renders the mind speechless. The greatest injustice in a million years. How can it be that she always gets away with it? There is not a voice, there is not even a whisper, for there is nothing that is not speechless. And then Lo, behold, she moved and walked. The ambrosia and the elixir of life, the Himalayan glaciers moved. Then the Arctic and the Antarctic icebergs broke free of the poles and moved, followed by a continental drift that is witnessed only once in the lifetime of a species. Oh my God, oh my God, she spoke a word. All the sugar in the world had lost all its sweetness, for her voice stole it. That's it. The test ends here and now. You watched, right? Meditation. So, what are your observations? Please, this is serious. The women in my neighborhood did not find the poem amusing because a few women yelled, "Hey, hey." The women found it offensive. They were offended and accosted because they didn't hear or feel the poetry, but were molested and abused by the noise and jar of the words that comprised the poem. The women felt attacked, and just a few minutes ago, the clinching and compelling evidence. Geeta, or a woman next door, spelt out the oft repeated gang rape threat that since I dared think of the lady model and dared even more by describing her poetically, Brahmin juveniles and Brahmin schoolboys, together with M.K. Stalin and Sons, Tol Tirumavalavan, A. Raja DMK MP, Dalits and Tamil Christians will break into my house and barge in and gang rape my frail and 80-year-old mother to death in full public glare and view, while the Dalit and Christian women hold down my mother's legs and hands to facilitate the smooth progress of the gang rape that culminates in the death of my mother. The Brahmins have repeated this threat themselves or got it repeated through the Dalits and Tamil Christians at least 100 times over the past 20 years. On another occasion, I went to the sweet and savory shop, Parambu Srinivasa, and inadvertently saw a young Brahmin girl. I think she was a Brahmin. Immediately, what struck me was, she is my daughter. The Brahmin girl is my daughter. Don't believe me or trust me. Trust the word that I say, but always refer to the mind reading recordings of my mind. However, when I returned home from the sweet shop, Geeta, my next door neighbor, was waiting in her backyard to verbally attack and ambush me. And as I climbed the stairs that led to my house on the first floor, she threatened and warned, "Try touching that girl. I think she was a Brahmin girl, and you will see what will happen to you and your mother." Geeta was so furious that she could have gouged out my eyes in broad daylight, in full public glare and view, and thrown them to the dogs, just for throwing an inadvertent glance in the direction of a Brahmin girl. And the public could have justified the gore and glorified Geeta and exalted Geeta to the status of a superhero or a superwoman or goddess Mahakali who vanquished the demon Gokul Gopisetti and gouged his eyes and threw them to the dogs. So what is the insight? So what is the demonization? Do you see how dangerous demonization is? And can get the demons, women raped and gang raped, and the gang rape justified, and the gang rape is glorified or uh, glorified as superheroes or demigods because the demons, women deserve it because a demon is after all evil and nothing but evil and must be destroyed, and the demon's women must be gang raped and burnt alive. That explains the assassination attempts on Donald Trump and the canceling or striking down of the deportation of illegal immigrants, executive orders by the courts themselves, which is striking down democracy itself by striking hard and fast at its very heart with maximum impact. Demonization can be that dangerous. It almost got both Donald Trump and democracy